Welcome to What is Going On in the UC, and today we're going to talk about the fall. Yes, the reason why we're going to talk about the fall is not because people need a fall lecture, because I'm sure if you're in the UC, you already know what the fall is. You do not need a fall lecture. Now, what I'm about to say is a shoe fits kind of comment, okay? So if the shoe fits, wear it. It's painfully, annoyingly obvious that some people who call themselves UC members do not believe in the fall. Some people who have left the movement because they don't believe in the fall. If the center of our movement is to find a cure for the fall, and you don't believe in the fall, it's like working for Eli Lilly. You sell pills that you don't believe are a cure for any ailment because you don't believe that that ailment exists. Now, if you don't believe that ailment exists, then you're corrupted from the beginning. Or if you're selling pills and you don't believe that the ailment exists, then you're just you're running a racket. If you're that kind of person, this is for you. Alright, so what is the fall? How can we understand the fall? One of the things about the fall chapter 2 lecture is that it makes use of a tremendous amount of Bible quotes. Psychologically, people need validation. As a matter of fact, you get a flow of serotonin when people agree with you, okay? Some people see that as love. If I just say, oh, I like what you're wearing. Oh, I like your haircut. Boom, you get flow of serotonin. You are made to like when I agree with you. You are made to like it when I agree with you. This is natural. When I disagree with you, okay, you're made to feel threatened. Why? Because we are social beings. How are we going to have cooperation if we don't agree, right? So you feel threatened when we don't cooperate, right? This is a natural feeling. We want love. We want acceptance, right? It's a natural thing. Question is, who's responsible to validate you until you become psychologically stable? The government? Your friends? Your spouse? No, it's your parents. The more good parents we have in the world, the more psychologically stable people we have in the world, resulting in fewer conflicts where people take other people's words the wrong way, where they have a lack of serotonin and they get all depressed and they're suicidal and want to hurt each other, right? We'll have fewer of those incidents if we have good parents. Got you there? Great. We're going to move forward. One of the main staples of good parenting is commitment. Okay? Without basic commitment, it's like commitment is the plate upon which you put the rest of your parenting, right? It's like we're eating love off the floor if we don't have this plate called commitment. Another word for that commitment is called, yes, you got it, marriage, right? Marriage is a basic commitment where you say, you know, rich or poor, sickness and health, where you say, I'm going to allow all kinds of things to happen and I'm going to stay committed for some really good reasons. It's so true. It's like when the single parent family rate goes up, the juvenile crime rate goes up. What does that mean? That means the kids are in a higher state of agitation when the fathers are not around or when they've only got one parent around. That means when they have only one source of validation, okay, then psychologically they're a little bit more off kilter. Let me just double check to make sure you understand what we're talking about. We are talking about the proper flow of love to humanity. The proper flow of love to humanity, I'm saying, comes from parents. The quality of parenting is everything. If you have bad parenting, bad commitment, you are going to have bad outcomes, and that is exactly what sociologists are finding. So in that sense, what Father's saying about the fall does not disagree with what sociologists in the last couple of decades are coming up with. If you don't like a world where people are flying off the handle at the smallest, hint of disagreement or hint of a threat, okay, then you, my friend, do want better parenting in the world that you want. You do. And if you say that you want sex and you don't want commitment, but you do want better parenting in the world, you're a jerk. You're a walking oxymoron. You're a walking contradiction. You cannot want to have all the things that are the fruits of commitment and then want to feel free of commitment. There's only one word for it. Simply childish. That is why Father has said that Adam and Eve were immature. They were only teenagers. They hadn't completely grown up yet before they were using their sexual organ. So if you don't think that the fall was sexual, if you don't think that us committing the fall in this very day brings about the worst things that are happening in the world, well then you didn't learn anything yet. Now I'm going to go to these other people, okay? The people who are responsible to teach the rest of us all this stuff. It has come to my attention that there are leaders who are embarrassed by absolute sex teaching and the fall content. Bottom line is, they're prudes. They couldn't kiss their spouse in public, even if God said, doesn't that couple belong to me? Didn't I put that couple together? Can you do me a favor? Show the world the beauty of your couple. Kiss your spouse in public. They couldn't do it because they still carry the shame of the crime. They still look at the sexual organ as if it is an organ of shame, of taking love from the other person, or taking the son or daughter out of somebody else's family. It is a weapon of false love that they're still ashamed of. I don't know, sometimes people spiritually have this feeling they inherited from their parents drilled it into them, but Father tried to tell us to get rid of that, but we clung to it anyway. There's some people who are so deathly afraid of letting go of the shame of the sexual organ that they've hatched this idea that, oh, once Father goes to the spirit world, we're not going to teach the fall anymore. We're not going to teach absolute sex anymore because it's too embarrassing for them. They blush when people talk about it, and they have no intention of rectifying this limitation within themselves. And yes, they could be leaders of the movement, and that's why I'm doing this video, so that you should know there's a rationale behind the whole teaching of the fall. There's a rationale behind the whole teaching of absolute sex. It is not just a fairy tale. It's not just mythology from the book of Genesis. Okay? It actually mirrors sociological reality in our present day. And the fact that we don't talk about it and keep clarifying it on many levels. We could use psychological data. Why children are behaving the way they are when they come from certain family structures. Why societies are experience certain economic plight when a single parent rate rises above a certain level. There are clearly mapped out, projected sociological data to show that the teaching of the fall is not ever to be outdated. But when you hang around with people who don't want to have the conversation, how are you going to get smarter in that area? You can't. So look, if you're feeling like, I don't want to talk about the fall, or you think that the fall is about you being found out for dirty little thoughts that you have, get over that, okay? You know what you need to do? Forget about the fact that you have these dirty little thoughts. To me, that is so forgivable, okay? So forgive yourself for that. Don't disengage from this conversation just because it makes you feel shameful. What we need to do is continue this conversation. We need to branch it out to the sociological, psychological spectrum so that our church members have a full appreciation of why the root of sin, the center of lack of love in this world, the center of inner war which becomes outer war, is the destruction of a family because of the lack of commitment, the whittling down of the trust and the love between men and women who are simultaneously mothers and fathers. Once the core of that love and trust is eroded, it's really hard to feed the next generation the confidence and the image of something that's healthy. I really hope you get this, and when you find out that certain people ridicule the teaching of the fall, I want you to know one thing, brothers and sisters. You're looking at Satan in the church, and I am not kidding about that. Talk to you later. Bye.